To tell you, it's a big thrill for us to have you here. I feel like you are the get of the century right now.
Well, I mean, I'm sort of close to the get of the century. I'm sort of the side bar to the...
Is this your first time on TV since all of the, let's call it hullabaloo, went down?
Yes, it is. I mean, I've been trying to find wherever CNN's been shooting and jump around in the background. But no, this is, and I actually can be on TV.
I'm You're allowed to be on TV.
Yes. Conan can, in fact, I'm not even sure I can say his name.
Oh.
I may be getting him in trouble for just saying his name.
Why don't we call him the large man with the frothy pompadour?
Yes, we'll call him the red one.
The red one?
Yes.
Red one, over.
No,
So does that mean that you didn't get the big money pay? I've heard upwards of $47 million.
Honestly, this is the thing that, and it was immediately irritating to people that worked on the show. Because, I mean, from stagehands to producers, they're getting all these emails and Facebook things about, like, well, you know, enjoy your golden parachute and stuff.
Right.
It's not like that.
It's not like that?
It's not like that at all. In fact, Conan is putting a lot of his own money out there. He formed a little corporation just to pay people to keep them, because all these people moved from New York to California to be on this show, and a lot of the people, they're robbed of their contacts. So even in a downtime like this, they don't have the contacts that they would have here on the East Coast to go get work elsewhere.
So much goes into it that, you know, I didn't even think about, and people wouldn't think about, you know, all of the creative service people that are out of jobs that I didn't realize came from New York.
Absolutely, yeah. There's people that, you know, and now they're in Los Angeles, you know, with lots of skills, but you know, in a television town.
Already established.
Yeah, and not really knowing, you know, a lot of people there. I mean, some people have been able to pick up work here and there, but you know, I mean, that's where it was sort of was bad for them. I mean, you know, I'm okay. You know, I still am actually under contract to NBC for a while.
Are you really?
Yeah. So,
but I'm
not on the air, but I'm still an employee. So. We'll see if those checks keep coming. So
what do they have you do now? Cleaning up the office and stuff?
No. In fact, it was we need your ID. It was like that, yeah.
And did they escort you out of the building?
No, we had a week or so to clear out. To pack up and clear out. But
was it at all dramatic? And didn't you feel the need to at some point retaliate? You know, like egg the building when nobody was looking?
No. Well, see, what's hard is that the building is at Universal, which is the corporate sibling of NBC, and they didn't do anything. They've got a big studio. They've got a big studio there that is sitting empty. You know, that they built for the Tonight Show. You know, and you know, I thought all the time on the Tonight Show. That's as good as it gets in show business. This
is gold.
Yeah, I'm a tenured professor of show business now.
Right.
And I guess I'm really good at getting kicked off the air, because it's what I've been doing for the last 10 years.
You know, you and Conan...
In fact, you're brave to have me here.
This show could go at any time. You and Conan should do another show on another network called We Were on the Tonight Show. Like, wouldn't that be exciting?
Yes.
It's like so competitive, and people might get confused.
After a year or so, though, well, we might get a little bored with that.
No,
it might be time to move on. It might be time to move on.
Do you have any ill feelings towards NBC and Jay? Not that you're going to be honest, but go ahead. Go for it.
Yes. Yes, I do. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? I mean, my God, I'd be like some sort of self-hater. I mean,
Sage Andy Richter.
No, I mean, NBC, definitely. Everybody said they were going to do something, and then they didn't.
Right.
You know, they all said years ago, we're going to do something, and then they didn't. And, you know, and there was all kinds of talk about our ratings not being very good, but they were pretty good all summer.
Sure.
And then our lead-in changed.
Right.
And they weren't so good anymore.
It's very hard, I would think, to have a lead-in for a nighttime talk show that is a nighttime talk show.
Yes. It was very difficult, and I don't think it was a good plan. I mean, there was a lot of planning that was done that was very short-sighted, and the notion that a 10 o'clock talk show, that they went into it saying, well, we'll make money, we'll spend less money, and of course the ratings will be less, so we'll make more money. It was not taking into account that the local news, all across the country, would go down anywhere from 25 to in some places 50%.
Wow.
And you can't expect, the thing about network television is if they like a show, if there's extenuating circumstances, they'll say, well, you have to think about the extenuating circumstances. Like for us, our low ratings being a result of our low lead-in. Right. But if they don't like the show, they'll say, well, they couldn't get the ratings, which they weren't saying that about the local news. I mean, every time, they weren't saying like all of a sudden the local news somehow got bad. Right. Like the local news got 25 to 50% worse than it was.
And this is, and so you must have wanted to say that like every night.
Oh my God.
And now you're saying it.
Oh my God.
How do you feel? How do you feel right now?
It feels good, and and I'm sure there's going to be.
Puffed up
well,
right
it's
now.
I got to be careful, because I do. I have to be. I have children. I still need work. I have to be careful. Right. But it's very frustrating when somebody says, and especially when they're on videotape saying, I'm going to take this #1 show and hand it over and hope that the next guy makes it a #1 show, and then doesn't. Right. And says things like, well, I didn't have any choice. They wouldn't let me out of my contract, which, how multimillionaires are always being forced to do things they don't want to do. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating, and I've calmed down about it, but it's still very.
It's right at the surface.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to arm wrestle me right now and get this on with? I'd actually like to pick you up above my head with both hands
and throw you into the audience.
Oh, and I think the audience would like it.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I've read on the internet that maybe...
You read the internet?
I sometimes read the internet,
When Googling yourself.
When Googling myself, and sometimes I am cross-referenced.
Yes, of course.
I heard that you guys are doing a tour. Is this possible?
I can't say. No, well...
Blink once.
Yes, it's a possibility. It is a distinct possibility, but...
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your fans need more and want more and feel robbed.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'd get me out of the house.
Yes.
Oh, my entire family would love that.
I met your beautiful and lovely wife.
Well, thank you.
Such a delightful lady.
She is. She is.
But she's ready for you to get out of the house again.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, except for when it comes to things like driving the kids to school. Right. Then I can stick around and then I can get out.
That's funny. Well, I don't want to change the subject because this is fascinating, but we've got some kind of interesting and big news items besides having you here. And
I can't believe that there's anything else of interest. I just can't believe it.
We were talking about